All right, Abigail, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all 4 of your strokes. We're going to look at different camera angles, starting with your butterfly. Okay, the first thing I see on your butterfly is that you are dropping your elbows immediately upon catch. Remember, we talked about getting your hands, the palms of your hands, with your forearms to mid bicep, always pressing back towards the other end of the pool, thus moving you forward. As you see in your butterfly, you're kind of up and down a little bit, and that is because you're pushing down in the water. You have really good flow, and I mean that is that you really good body movement. You press your chest very nice, you let the hips ride over extremely well, and that also enhances your kick. So your kick is extremely strong, but we want to make sure that we're getting the most out of our downhill type butterfly, and you'll see that as we kind of shift to this next camera angle. Again, the biggest thing is that pushing down on the water. As you see, the palms of your hand, if you look at it, you don't go back until about there, and your hands are already at your hips here. Losing out on all that forward motion and downhill butterfly because of the pitch of your hand and forearms. As we slow things down, you'll see it a lot easier and a lot better. We really want to make sure you're pressing back on that water, keeping yourself moving forward. You have the makings of an extremely good butterfly. We just need to make sure that we're getting enough leverage to move yourself forward. Again, really strong, powerful kick, which allows yourself really good body movement, but probably what I would suggest is that when you do longer distance in butterfly, you tend to tire out because it is all arm driven, and when you're not using necessarily that forward motion, you're not necessarily getting the most out of it. So again, pitch the bottom of your hands towards your feet, holding onto the water a little bit more. As we look at this front end shot, what we're looking for is that body flow. Again, you do that extremely well. You got good body flow, but again, we want to be able to kind of pull yourself forward, allow those shoulders and head to stay down because you're pushing back on the water. Very good butterfly. Again, clean those things up and it's going to be even better. Let's moving on to your backstroke. Okay, first thing I see in your backstroke is we want to see more body rotation leading from the hips. Backstroke, your rotation is led from the hips, and that allows your body to stay in line, allows you to get more out of each and every stroke. With a stronger rotation, you're going to catch the water a little bit more, be able to drive and hold on to that water throughout the pull, and then snap finish with a quick hip drive at the end. As you see here on yours, you are finishing below the hips, so you're pressing down on the water, then lifting your hands out, rather than holding on that water, pressing all the way back to your mid thigh, and then snapping that nice rotation. Then you pop your thumb up for the exit, letting the rotation place your hand in. As you look at this one, you're kind of reaching and trying to place those hands in. Let the rotation do all that for you. If you're in the proper position, a good rotation will naturally put your hand in the water. A nice deep catch, holding on to that water. So now as we look at the underwater, we want to look at the pull. You see we're bringing a lot of bubbles in, and that's because you're rushing that stroke. You're trying to throw those hands in, and that carries air down, and you're moving that air through the water. That allows for a very fast tempo, but it doesn't allow for a very efficient tempo. So we want to make sure that we're getting nice, stronger rotation. Rotate about quarter way more, so you're completely on your side. Hold that water. Use a nice, strong rotation to hold that water and press yourself through to the finish. Keeping the forearms to hands, the forearms to mid bicep, always pressing back towards the end of the pool. Good head position. I'd maybe lay it back just a tad bit more, but pretty good alignment. We just want to see a lot more rotation. That's what I saw on the kick as well. Strong kick. You just want to make sure you finish that kick past the knees. You don't just kick to extension. As we look at this head-on shot, what we're looking for is rotation, and you see you do a decent job, but we could rotate even more. We want to make sure that rotation's all the way so the shoulders and the hips are pointing down towards the bottom of the pool, not necessarily just kind of quarter way through. We want to make sure we keep rotating, allowing ourselves to, again, let let your rotation really dictate that stroke. No need to kind of place your hand in and lift your hands out. Okay, let's go on to your breaststroke. First thing I see is your breaststroke's coming back way too far. We only want to do that half breaststroke up front, keeping the elbows in front of the chest, allowing for a nice good pull, quick recovery, pressing that chest down, allowing the hips to rise up. It's kind of a slow, fast, and then when that fast is that quick rotation, that quick recovery moving forward. So there's two parts of the breaststroke that we want. We want a forward breaststroke. The number one forward is the pressing of the chest and quick recovery to stretch ourselves out in front. The number two drive forward is your kick. And as you see on your kick, we'll see it better underwater, but as you see your kick, you're kind of looping your feet around rather than kind of going up, out, and around. We want to go up, turn the feet out so the bottoms of your feet are turned towards the walls or the lane ropes, and then press that water and get that leverage in the water and press it back. It's not about squeezing your legs together, but more about pushing that water straight back to give you that forward motion. And the key to that is turning those feet out. As again, we'll see much better in this angle. We never see the bottoms of your feet. They're kind of just quickly shooting themselves through. We want to turn those feet out. We want to be able to grab that water, catch the water from your knees or mid-thigh down past your knees into your feet, finishing yourself through. On top of that, we want to use our kick to work on our timing. Your timing's a little bit off because you're not waiting for your hands to finish. So with a quick recovery and strong press, you're going to have some time out in front. Hold on to those hands until your feet finish. Right now, as soon as your hands stretch forward, you're going right into that next stroke. Hold on to that glide. Get as much as you can out of that kick. Once you feel your feet touch together on that kick, then that should signal, okay, I'll split my hands out at that point. As I split my hands out, I'm going to go up for my breath. You want to lean that head down further for your breath to shoot yourself forward, so thus moving your shoulders forward, giving you more of a downhill breaststroke. You're going to know this is a lot of information, but really you have the good makings of a breaststroke. We just have to clean some things up. As we look at this head-on shot, one of the things we want to see is the hips kind of rising higher than the head. We want to get that head down and be able to see the hips over the top, and we don't see that. We can really see your hips stay low, and that's primarily because of that we don't see a strong press. I'd like to see your breaststroke look more like your butterfly and that flow you feel on that butterfly with that good body motion. You want to have that same thing here with your breaststroke, and part of doing that is keeping that elbows up on the pole, quick recovery, pressing that chest down to allow the hips to rise up, and waiting for your feet to finish, driving all the way through, keeping everything downhill. Good job on the breaststroke. Let's go ahead and look at your freestyle. Okay, similar to your backstroke, you're placing your hands in. You want to see a lot more rotation. Freestyle, the rotation is going to come more from the shoulders, but we want to keep that whole body the same. Keeping that head down, looking straight down a little bit more, keeping good alignment will really help that a lot. But as we see now in the pull, the first thing that we see coming back is the elbows. We want to get those hands deeper, so the palms of your hand are facing your feet at the catch, then your forearm, then the mid bicep, always pressing back on the water. That moves you forward. This will slow your stroke rate down because you'll be holding more water, but that's not as important as really getting yourself moving forward in the right direction. So again, as you see here now in the underwater, the elbows are coming back first. We want to get those hands down. So if you're really not getting a lot of pull until about here, and then you're pulling your hand out too quickly. So we want to extend that, holding that water all the way back as far as you possibly can. Enter out as far as you can, starting with the pitch of your hand, palms of the hand, towards your feet, to the forearm, to the mid-bicep, holding onto a lot more water. This is going to be a lot stronger the more you rotate. The more you rotate around the center and rotate yourself through, the better you're going to be. As you can see here, your elbows are just dropping, losing a lot of water, and then you're kind of sliding your hands up too quickly. Again, Good for tempo, bad for moving through the water. You want to do least number of strokes as you can while moving as fast as you possibly can. As we look on the head-on shot, what we look for here is for rotation. And we see, kind of similar to your backstroke, you got a little bit of rotation, but we could go twice as much more. Really stretching ourselves out, allowing ourselves to extend out forward. You're bringing those water in, bringing that air into the water. Again, stretch that out. The longer you can be out in front, the more that air will dissipate and allow yourself to have a lot more efficient freestyle. Very good job. Excuse me. Very good job with your freestyle. A very good job with all 4 strokes. I really enjoyed working with you.